Welcome back to Real Facts. You are now live with Shania Blanco, and my topic is going to be seek your own approval. And I'm going to hit you guys with a fatal attraction story. But before we get started, I just got some news that Hustle Cartel just got arrested out in Texas, somewhere, Fort Worth or something like that. I guess someone mentioned that he got arrested for getting someone else arrested, Charleston White. Now, that doesn't make sense. You can't get arrested for getting somebody else arrested unless it was some, kind of mix up, some kind of false accusations or something like that. That doesn't make sense. So I'm going to continue to follow this story because what the heck is going on? Okay, but anyway, seeking your own approval is a sense of self-confidence. The ability to feel good about your choices without needing outside approval. All right. So let's try not to worry about what other people think or feel about your success or your way of life, or the way you carry yourself. If you don't get some kind of self-confidence about yourself and like wear what you want to wear or do what you want to do. I mean, as long as it's positive, any kind of choice, as long as it's positive, I don't think that there's nothing wrong with that. And as far as, dress codes, if you like it, wear it. If you feel good in it and it looks good on you, you think it looks good on you, put it on. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. All right, so also pay attention to your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, and your feelings and when you're making decisions, and be honest with yourself, about your motivations, about the things that inspire you. Be honest with yourself if, this is something that you really would like to do. Have positive self-talks with yourself. Congratulate yourself. Pat your own self on the back. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go around seeking other people's approval, your entire world is gonna be upside down. Worried about what the next man or the next woman thinks about you, you're heading down the wrong. You're heading down the wrong road. You're headed for destruction. Because everybody doesn't have your best interests at heart. So you can't really base your off somebody else's opinion of you. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. All right. So yeah. So just like when you get into these relationships, you're seeking your significant other's approval. You're hoping that, that they like what you have on, which is okay. That's no problem, but you don't want to seek their approval too much. Sometimes you want to have a mind of your own. Hey, I'm going to wear this dress because I want to wear this dress. Or I'm going to start dressing like this because I want to start dressing like this. Or I want to try this new dish because it looks good and I'm going to try it. You don't want to ask somebody about what you should do all the time. Follow your own instincts as long as it's positive. If you can, if you feel good doing it, do it. That's all I want to say. So anyway, because if you don't, you'll be leaving out of the relationship depressed if it doesn't work out and your self-esteem is low. It's like you lost yourself. You don't know, you lost your sense of how to dress or how to feel. You don't really, you're uncomfortable with your own opinion of yourself. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody make you feel worthless. You are the bomb. You are that girl or that guy. All right. I don't care what they say. You have to love you. All right? Stop letting people dictate your life. So the only approval you guys should be seeking is God's approval. That's the only approval you should be seeking. Anything else, it doesn't matter. If they're not speaking positivity in your life, if they're not speaking life over your life, it shouldn't faze you. Stay away from negative. Those are negative people. Stay away from negative people. Nobody got time for that. Speaking of negative people, I'm not going to say Kevin Gates is negative, but I did share something on one of my pages or whatever about him saying something about being your authentic self, which was good, which was a good approach. But at the end, I did not agree with him cussing. I think he was, Kevin Gates don't care. As he mentioned in his video, he does not care. He will say anything to anybody. I just want to say that was a positive message, but he ended it kind of negative. So we don't want to. As a matter of fact, I may have to remove that from my from my page. I had thought about that. Got thinking about that. Like, wait a minute, should I leave this on here or should I take it off? As far as the pages go, I have decided to just accept followers on my page because for some reason there are fake accounts all over my friend list, and it's kind of disturbing. So one of my pages doesn't look too good, but hey, you got to do what you got to do to stay positive, right? Anyway, be aware of be aware of the people that like to dig into your personal life. You know, they like to dig into your personal business, or talking about things from your past, or, you know, making up stuff that's really not true. Beware of people like that. Stay away from people like that. Those kind of people, you know, those kind of people would judge you and keep you and hold you at a certain standard, even though you surpassed it. You're on a whole nother level. They want to keep you caged at your mistakes, or, you know, or at some kind of, I don't know, demeaning level in life, so they can sabotage your character for some particular reason. You have to watch out for people like that. Stay away from people like that. A lot of people don't have friends, for that particular reason, because everybody doesn't have your best interests at heart. Everybody doesn't want to see you win. They don't want to see you successful. They just don't want to see you do good in life. And that's not good. That's not good. I think everybody should follow their right road, follow their purpose in life. I think that everybody should do whatever it is that they're called to do in life and feel good while doing it, and have the right people around you while you're doing it. You know, do what you love to do. Don't do what people want you to do. Do what you enjoy doing. That's the only way it's going to work for you. You know, with your whatever it is that you got going, do it because you love it. Don't do it because you have to. You know, like working a job that's uncomfortable. You know, you're constantly slaving away at work, but you got these negative people, I don't know, picking at you, bullying you, and all you're trying to do is go to work and go home. You know, learn how to let go of situations that disturb your peace. And I'm going to continue to say it. Learn how to detach people. That's the main thing that the people in the United States of America, and probably all across the world, they don't know how to detach from a situation. And that's a big problem for a lot of people. So, yeah, so stay away from people like that. You know, I had some things jotted down, so y'all excuse me, okay? Because I wanted to talk to you guys about a few things, and I didn't want to forget, so I had to write it down. So y'all excuse me for a second. All right. So anyway, I got some fatal attraction. Well, a fatal attraction story of someone by the name of Merlin Santana. And a lot of you probably know exactly who he is. But before we go into that, the greatest qualities that you can find in a person is empathy. You know, being able to understand things from another person's perspective, honesty, love, loyalty, all that good stuff. You know, those are the great qualities that you can actually find in someone. So moving along to the fatal attraction story, when love turns into hate, more than likely that's what basically fatal attraction is. Someone is so intensely attracted to you to the point they start being controlling and start, you know, just doing some off the wall weird things to you, and you're trying to get away, and this person is holding on to you with a strong arm. And these things, some situations normally turn out deadly. I was reading a story, it was kind of short, about Gerald Alman or something like that. Luckily he didn't kill his ex-girlfriend, but I guess he was having some things going on in his life, and it caused him to have an outburst, and he just started shooting at the girl. You know, and someone mentioned something about he had lost a family member or something like that, and that's why he flipped out. There's no reason, you can't justify stuff like that. I understand that people do face, you know, terrible situations, but we have to learn self-control, because you don't want to crash out and be a crash out dummy and lose your life, whether it be to the graveyard or to the penitentiary. Your life would be gone, all because you couldn't control yourself at that moment. If you feel like this person brings out the worst in you, then it's time to move on. It's time to let go. Stop coming around that person. Like on my last episode, I just said something about people project. What people are projecting is basically how their life is going. So basically he was having a terrible time in his life and he was feeling uncomfortable, and for whatever reason, him and his girl or his ex-girlfriend had an argument and he decided to shoot at her. And I thank God he didn't kill the woman. All right. So, and it's just so crazy. But anyway, moving along. Merlin Santana. Now, he grew up in the west side of New York. He was he starred in, what is it? I'm sorry. Little Walter, a series called Little Walter. He also connected with Bill Cosby. He had spoke 2 languages, English and Spanish. He also played in Steve Harvey's show as Romeo. They attended a school in that show called Booker T or something like that. Booker T High School. But anyway, so his career was taking off. He had came from an environment where, it was the ghetto, it was the hood, and he was one of the people that was making it out. So in the midst of his career booming, he was taking off or whatever. He ended up going out to LA. He was actually supposed to took a flight out to New York, but he ended up staying because he had got a job on a position on doing a role in a movie or a show or something like that. But anyway, he had ended up meeting this girl out in LA at some Chinese restaurant, and they started hitting it off pretty good until, I guess he ended up allowing her to come to his house, and she started acting strange. She was walking around his house looking out the window like she was just acting real suspicious. So he ended up asking her to leave. He had his homeboy there with him or whatever. So when the girl, as she was leaving, she got into a large vehicle, a big car, SUV or something like that, with 2 men, and he watched them pull off, but they only pulled off like a couple of blocks and they stopped. And so he noticed that, so he told his homeboy or whatever, hey, it's something not right. We need to get out of here. So they ended up leaving. And as they got inside the car, there was 2 men approaching their vehicle with a red beam, a red light, a laser light shining at their car. And the guy, before he can even spin off real fast, they started shooting at the car. So one of the bullets hit Merlin in the back of the head, and he died, on the scene or whatever. So the cops ended up questioning his homeboy, and he said that they were just talking. He was just talking to this. And he had told her that she had to go. So they ended up finding the girl to talk to her. And the girl was acting like she didn't know what was going on. She didn't know what had happened. So the police ended up telling her she can either be a suspect or a witness. So the girl ended up breaking down, telling the truth. She said that she told these men, one of the guys was supposed to be her boyfriend, and she told them that Merlin had forced himself on her, basically raped her or whatever. And she said that he just made her do things that she didn't want to do. And so the guys actually had came for Merlin for revenge. So she ended up also admitting that none of those things had actually took place, that he didn't force himself on her. She was just upset because he rejected her, because he didn't want to be in a relationship with her. He didn't want to be in a relationship with her because he had so much going on. He was always on the go, always on the move because of his career. And also, come to find out, the girl was nothing but 15 years old. So that was crazy. So anyway, one of the guys ended up getting like 22 years. The other guy, I guess, that actually shot the bullet in his head, got 70 years. And she only got 10 years because she was a minor or whatever. So she was released at age 25, I guess on parole or something like that. Basically, this man lost his life all because a woman couldn't take rejection. She couldn't accept that he didn't want to be with her. She couldn't take no for an answer. So she wanted this man dead. She was nothing but a kid herself. But that just goes to show you can't be so caught up in your lifestyle that you just forget to stay focused. Because when you're in that kind of lifestyle, people's intentions, everybody doesn't have your best interests at heart. They don't have the best intentions for you. When you're in that kind of lifestyle, it's best to just, stay focused. Stay focused and stay away from environments that give you bad vibes, negative people, negative energy. And first of all, he shouldn't have been talking to this 15-year-old girl anyway, but apparently she may have lied about her age to him. I'm not quite sure, but but whatever it is, he had the hunch that this girl wasn't right and he made her leave, which was a good thing. But the bad thing was that he lost his life behind it. So you got to be careful who you connect with. Once again, you don't know what kind of headspace people are in. A lot of people, they cannot take rejection. And it's really sad. It's really sad. If somebody tells me, hey, I'm not interested, but thank you anyway. Thanks for the compliment. All right, I'm going to take that. I'm going to say, okay, thank you. You're welcome or whatever. And then I'm going to move along. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get him because he don't want me. What kind of stuff is that? So hopefully you newcomers that's new on my show, hopefully, if anybody out here that's like that, you guys are learning a little something from me. I know my shows don't be that long because I don't want to talk people's ears off, but listen, if you are in a situation that, somebody tells you no, just leave it alone, guys. Just leave it alone. Hey, there's more fish in the sea. There's like over 1 billion people on this earth. You're not gonna, it's so many beautiful people out here. Like one person telling you no is not it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. All right, move on. All right. Anyway, that concludes my show for tonight, you guys. I will be back next week, Wednesday at 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. It was I had a good time speaking with you guys. Every week I do, actually. I love getting on here, talking to everybody about these fatal attraction stories. It's just an awareness. It brings awareness because there are actually people out here that don't want you to, leave them or reject them. And if you do, they're going to come after you or set you up or do something to you. This is crazy. Tell lies on you, all kind of things, sabotage your character, all kind of things, so you can meet these kind of people any kind of where, any kind of place. I mean, it can be at a hospital, on the job, in the streets, at the club, anywhere. You can meet these type of people anywhere. So you just gotta have some kind of gift of discernment and just, have some kind of spiritual awareness that you can just feel when something's not right and you shouldn't approach this person. But I know that people have a they have a way of hiding who they are from you. So, that's why you deal with people with the long handle spoon. Like, as soon as you meet somebody, don't show them where you live at. Give them the wrong number or something. I don't know. Meet them out in the streets if you're interested, and just get to know somebody as much as you can before inviting them into your personal space. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, thanks for joining me tonight.